Hi guys, Julie the Oracle here. So in this reading, oops, slam into the desk, don't I? Okay. I was trying to pull it to the desk. Okay, so for this reading, first I actually want to say that it's the week of Thanksgiving, but this will be a timeless reading. But I just want to say that I hope everyone has had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy the holiday season. And I wanted to say how grateful I am and thankful for all of you and for those of you who have subscribed, liked, and commented. I'm grateful for the views, even if you didn't. So please subscribe if you haven't. If I offer anything, if I offer any kind of guidance or comfort, or if my messages are resonating with you, please go ahead and subscribe. And your subscription actually helps. Even if you don't watch another video, just subscribing alone actually really helps me reach my goal of 1,000 people, which is what I'm trying to get to. I have a long way to go with that, so I just want to say, but I am very, very grateful for those of you who have liked and commented and subscribed. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This reading is going to be about, what psychic ability should you grow? We all have it. So if you happen to come across this and it's something you're interested in, take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. But I want to do a quick little reading on this, and then I have some oracle cards for you. And hopefully, if you're kind of new to this, not sure how to grow your psychic abilities, we already have them. We already have intuition. It's just a matter of how aware of it are you? It's like I'm becoming aware of stuff that I didn't realize from years ago, and I'm just now becoming aware of it. So it takes time. We all have a built-in intuition. A lot of people that don't like the psychic stuff, that think that it's fake, they call it gut instinct. That's basically your intuition. So whenever you trust that, you're trusting your psychic ability, to keep you out of harm, out of danger, to guide you in the right direction when you make that choice on that job or which car to buy or however, whatever decision you're making. So keep that in mind. But so you've maybe you're looking around, you're like, I'm having these weird experiences. I'm, that it's something that's not normal, at least not to other people. It's not normal. And it's kind of like a psychic thing. Maybe you're seeing things or hearing things or dreaming about things. You could be feeling things. There's so much. You know things before people tell you. You know things about people. Maybe you channel messages to people that you're like, hey, what happened this? What happened back when you were 5 years old? Or maybe you even are a medium. You can deal with the dead. That depends. So I don't know each individual situation, but for those of you that are watching, here we go. So what psychic ability should you grow? So first off, we have the Fool. The Fool is that universal leap of faith, take a risk. It's kind of risky. Some of you are kind of like natural, how do I say it? Like you're natural intuitives. I mean, some people grow it. Some people are born with it, and you just live with it. And you just don't even realize what it is until it's like, oh yeah, I've been dealing with that. Psh, I don't care. You're like, that's just a fact of life, and you're fine with it. You can deal with it just fine. Some people adapt like that. And then other people don't. They're like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? I woke up one day and I can hear people, talking to me, and I'm not crazy, Now, I'm not a doctor, so medical disclaimer, and I have one in the description, but, please, if you're not sure about something, if you're feeling a certain way physically or mentally or emotionally, please seek out the proper treatment. Go see a doctor. Go see a medical doctor, to sort out anything that could be bothering you. If you're having eyesight, vision, hearing problems, like that kind of thing, or if you're feeling a certain way or feeling queasy or whatever it is, just go make sure there's nothing wrong physically first. And, there's nothing, I go see a therapist tomorrow. So, I just want to say, there is nothing wrong with getting counseling, therapy, things like that. My mental health is pretty good. I'm really close to being discharged, so fantastic. So it's like just working through some of the traumas and just working through some of the things. I'm a better version of myself now, so there's nothing wrong with going and getting your head examined. And let me just tell you, my therapist is amazing because she doesn't judge me, and that's great. nobody in the office so far has judged me for being, metaphysical, spiritual, psychic, anything like that. I'm like, oh, I love to do tarot readings, and I do this, and I have dreams, and I can talk to the dead, or whatever. They don't judge me. They don't think I'm crazy, which is such a relief, I love it. It's been fascinating so far. So don't be afraid to reach out. And if you, mentally and emotionally, like, make sure that your mental health is being taken care of and it's good. Because if everything's good, then you basically are just ruling out and going, nope, I've been checked out. I'm well adjusted. I'm pretty much what people would assume to be normal. I'm a grounded person. My head's not in the clouds all the time. And, I'm looking to debunk whatever this is that I'm seeing and hearing and whatever. You're trying to debunk it by going to the doctors. You check everything out, make sure, did I really see that? Did I really hear that? You look around, you don't have an explanation. So this stuff is going to keep happening to you. So I just want to tell you, with the Fool, some of you are really new to this. And so this is going to take a leap of faith and realize that, no, I just want you to know right now, you are not crazy. There is nothing wrong with you physically. There's nothing wrong with you mentally or emotionally. It's all spiritual, baby. And so you're waking up. Your mind, your body, your emotions, your soul is waking up, and you're having these realizations, and you're starting to realize, wow, I can do a lot more. Maybe a part of your brain has been enlightened, It makes me wonder that people who, if we could do brain scans of before and after, and I don't know if this has been done, I haven't even looked into it. It might be something to look into. But if people have had brain scans done before and after of a spiritual awakening, I wonder what it would look like. And so it kind of makes me just ponder a little bit about whether there'd be a difference. And you could see that maybe a part of someone's brain is lit up in those that are awakened spiritually versus somebody who isn't. But it's going to take a leap of faith for you to walk off that cliff. But you're going to realize, you know what? This is like you knowing what's scientific is the ground, and when you step off that cliff, you're stepping into the air, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna fall. This is where you have to believe in yourself. It's like, no, what you can't see is there. That psychic ability is there. You just don't see it. You don't notice it until something makes you notice. Something occurs, and that's when it picks up on it. When your psychic system figures it out, that's when all your clairs light up and everything. So just think about that. So when I say what you should grow, one, your confidence. Grow your confidence. I know that's psychic ability is a lot. It can be mental too. But have faith in your spirituality and be confident in what you can do. Be confident in that what you've experienced, is something you've experienced. And just because people don't believe it and they naysay you, that doesn't mean you didn't do that. This is your experience. It happened to you. Nobody else. So, you know what? Believe in it. If you know yourself and hey, I know that I don't have problems with sight and vision. I know that I don't have anything wrong with me right now physically. I'm fine, and you're, you're well adjusted and you're thinking with clarity of sound mind and body. You're good. So if you know that, then you know that your experience was genuine and it was true. It's factual to you because you experienced it and you couldn't figure out why it occurred. There was no way to debunk it. So just keep that in your mind and make sure you stay confident with this, because when we talk about what you need to grow, it's going to be a lot about what you put out. See, your thoughts and your feelings are very powerful. Your thoughts and intentions are very powerful. So when you put something out there, whether you say it, you think it, you believe in it, you have the power of manifestation. So a lot of people manifest. You know how some people are just happy-go-lucky, and they're literally happy and they get lucky all the time. I don't mean get lucky like that. Wink, wink. But maybe. I just mean that they get lucky in life. They're walking along and boom. Oh yeah, money falls into their lap, or they just get $800 back, or they just happen to, their friends come to the casino. Oh, I don't want to spend any money. I'll put $20 in. And then they end up winning 800. So it's what? And then they're well, I'm done for the day. So that's where we are with that. But there are people who can manifest that, and you can. by thinking and believing. So your thoughts, your intentions, your belief, it's all very important. Manifestation is a real thing. If you really, really want something, sometimes you can get it if it's meant for you. You know, our free will in a lot of ways can keep us going. And there's a lot of little things throughout the day. We're like, oh, I really, really want that. And then you end up getting it. Like, man, I really want a coffee, but I don't want to go to Starbucks. And then someone comes and goes, oh, Starbucks gave me this extra order. Here you go. Anybody want it? And you're like, me. And guess what? You got a free coffee. Those little things, those little happenstances or whatever you're going to call them, those don't, I don't really believe in circumstances most of the time. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And not everybody likes that phrase, but I like it because it tends to be true and there's lessons to be learned there, whether it's good or bad. But also, everything, I don't know, you have free will, but there could be fate and destiny involved too. So, things happen and you think you've got it made and then everything changes. So you never know. I know for some of you, one of you, somebody took a big risk and it seems to be paying off and everything like that. And it will, but like everything, it's a temporary risk. Okay. It's temporary. I don't know. I mean, and temporary doesn't mean like, oh, it's going to be a couple of days. I mean, this could be going for months, maybe a year. I don't know. Hopefully not that long, but temporary means that it's not going to last. Whatever it is, that you're exactly where you need to be right here, right now. And that whatever you're doing is paying off. You took the risk, it's paying off, but you've manifested something, but if it's meant for you, it will stay. But if it's not, it's going to go. You're meant for something better. So that's the message, that something better is coming along later. So you're going to come full circle and then you're going to get everything you want. Even if you think you have it right now, you don't. That might be a very specific message. It's a very specific message for somebody. Funny. I don't know why. So if you took this grand adventure and you went somewhere, you moved away or started a new job or started a new relationship, whatever it is, that's great. It's going swimmingly right now, but all good things must come to an end. So I think that this is more of a balance of karma, maybe, or whatever's happening right now. It's good for you because you're learning the lessons from it. And that's the point. Lessons can be hard sometimes because you think you've got it made. You're like, this is it. I have everything. I'm where I want to be. I'm with who I want to be. I've got everything I want. And then boom, the universe is like, psych, that was a lesson. So, seems cruel, but not always. Not always. It's meant to be. It's meant to be right now, but it's not meant to last. And sorry for anyone. I don't want to, but I don't want you to dwell on it too bad. Just think, you know what? Enjoy it while you're with it now. Take what lessons you learn from it, because when it's done and over, I want you to reflect back and look at it appreciative and, think, wow, I understand now. I learned the lessons there. I'm a better person for it, because, the next thing coming in is your permanent happiness. The next thing is you always get a big lesson before you get to the reward. That's kind of the way I see it, because that seems to be the way it's happening for me. But I've had my lesson and now I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the things I wanted, but I had to learn those lessons first. And whatever I'm still learning, I'm kind of getting that out of the way before my abundance comes in. So, I don't know, whoever that's for, yeah. So sorry, I don't mean to be a bearer of bad news if you think that you've got the right partner and all that. If you try to keep at it, it will be removed from your life if you try to stick with it. There's a reason that people change and people grow apart and jobs end and things like that, or you end up not being able to live in a place anymore. There's reasons for it. Sometimes an adventure is just an adventure and it's just temporary to teach you a lesson before you come back home. And once you come full circle, then you get everything you want and you're like, wow, I thought I had what I wanted. And then you end up like that meme that says, I'm really glad that I didn't end up with what I thought I wanted. So, because then when you have what you really truly desire and you have what you want and it's authentic, it's a beautiful thing. Sorry, that went way off, but there you have it. Anyway, so be the manifester over here. Look into manifestation. Look into it. There's ways you can do it. You can visualize it. You can do affirmations with it. And but you want to stay positive and keep your energy, you want to keep your energy flowing. Your energy is light and flowing and good, you know, because you don't want any negative energy. You just want to keep light energy. But when you have the right mindset and you're positive and things like that, it makes for easier flow, easier manifestation. So work on that. There's a lot of ways. I mean, you can Google it and find all kinds of stuff on manifestation. So look that up. And then we have the Empress next. This is what I like. The Empress is a balance of all the queens in the tarot, which means you've got like a lot going on. You've got choices. You've got whoever this belongs to, the Empress. Those of you that resonate with the Empress have multiple gifts going on here. I call them gifts. Some people call them grants. My friend does. And some people call them curses. I don't know. But you have abilities, a lot of abilities. A lot of people have more than one. It's like, you know, we're not born with just as a one-trick pony. So, but if she's a little bit of everything, then I'm like, okay, wow. When you think of the swords, if the Empress is 4 parts, if she's got the swords, that makes me think that mentally you're capable of being that type of telepathic. Maybe read minds, things like that. You finish people's sentences and go, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. When you say things at the same time because you're picking up on other people. And you might be able to do it silently as well. But that's the swords for me because it's like, that's mental. Let's see. It can also be channeling messages too, because I think messages come through the mind and you want to share something that is being shown you. Like, also mentally, like you get the, this could deal with the visual too, the seeing. Because I think like emotional, like the cups, on the cups, so we're covering swords as the mental communications. And then we're covering the cups, which ends up usually representing emotions. Well, and water. Speaking with elements is a thing too. So the swords are air. So if you could be an air sign or you could communicate with air easier. That's a whole thing that you should look into if you're interested. But also, you know, not just the air sign, but the cups represent emotions. I'm going with clairsentience. Your clairs represent a lot of different things, but this is you being an empath. The cups represent empaths and can represent your feelings. Like you pick up on feelings when you get that knot in your stomach, when you get around somebody that's not good for you, or you get a bad feeling about something and then it ends up being right. Like, oh, how they're not home yet. I got a bad feeling. And you find out somebody had an accident and they're okay, but you knew that it was going to be an accident. You just know. That's a lot of things where your body is telling you things. Sometimes you can pick up when you're talking to people, you start getting aches and pains, or, they're talking about an aunt and uncle and suddenly, they're in the hospital because this, and you're like, oh, I'm getting a leg pain. And they're like, oh yeah, they've got some kind of, they pulled a hamstring or something, and you're just like, oh, you're having sympathy pains, they call it, but it may not be all that sympathy. It may be empathetic. It's empathy, and you can feel it all through your body, as an empath, but also you're picking up on the clairsentience is all about feelings and sensations. So, you can feel that. Like somebody talks about, oh, my cousin got shot in the shoulder, and you're like, oh, you start to feel the pain, a burning pain in your shoulder or something. I experienced something a little bit similar to this some time ago with... we were doing readings in a group, and somebody came in and they started talking. They wanted a reading for themselves, but they were having a hard time. But they started talking about their brother who had unfortunately died in a mass shooting. And I actually felt him appear next to me. I can't see him, but in my mind's eye, he's there. I almost feel like, whoa, there's definitely like a presence, energy, something just appeared, right next to me and next to my chair. And it wasn't scary or anything. It was just like, I can feel him. That's cool. And I kept getting in my head, just let her know I'm okay. Let her know I'm okay. Let her know I'm okay. Something like that he was saying. And I was like, okay, he wants you to know he's okay. I'm like, I'm getting this overwhelming need to tell you this. And just almost like it's in my head, but without actually seeing or hearing anything. It's funny. It's like I can kind of hear it. It's hard to describe how you get this, because I have clairaudience too. But he showed up, and that channeled message came through about telling her, you know, that's a channeled message I was able to give to this lady. Hopefully it brought her some comfort to know that he's fine, you know. Yeah, he died a bad way, but he's okay, and he's looking out, you know, for her. But it was just so weird to see that, like, appear next to me. And, like, I did get the sensation. She said he was shot, and I got a sensation in my chest, that pain. And she said that, oh, well, he was shot over here, you know, and that's what killed him, being shot. And I was like, ooh, I got the pain from that. Sometimes it happens that way. It's weird when it happens. But, and that was a stronger vibe than most. Sometimes I don't feel things, and sometimes I do. So if you feel things like that, there you go. Then if you're having the feelings, like, yeah, that represents the cups. And then we have the wands. The wands are very creative. Those could be more about movement. I'm trying to figure out, like, when we think about movement, that's fire. So that could represent the element of fire. Fire signs, you know, can you communicate with fire? Quite interesting. And then with the fire, there's a lot of passion and attraction and stuff. And fire can kind of represent that sacral chakra too in there, which can be, it's related to sexuality and creativity and passion and attraction and all of that. So the wands being about movement and things like that. So I don't know about detecting movement, but I don't know if the wands would be something where you can see. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. What else am I missing? I'm missing pentacles. Pentacles is the earth too. So, and pentacles being the earth, that's the element of earth, but it's also, pentacles can represent money, but universally they do, but I've been taught that they can represent relationships and home and family and things like that. Friendships. Pardon me, I had to get a drink of water. I'm losing my voice. So, sorry about that. But yeah, family, relationships, things like that. The pentacles, they can be represented as coins or discs or whatever they might be. Shields, different things. So it could be my earth signs, an earth element. I think I mentioned that. And it's a balance of all of those. And when I think of, like, earth, I think of grounding. Grounding can give you energy too, but you need to have your bare feet in the earth or the mud or the sand or the water, something like that. But it needs to be natural. So grounding, helping stay grounded is good, because you don't want to float off with your head in the sky, you know, full of air over there. When I think of grounding, I also think, you know, that it might be the earthly body that you're in, the chakras, picking up on things. Your chakras can tell you things too. You can get messages through them, because I got messages through mine once, and it was very powerful. It was a very spiritual experience for me. Some people say it was Kundalini. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I have a hard time describing it, but it was amazing. And I almost feel like God told me some things, showed me some things. It was definitely not like from earth. It came from a higher source for sure. So this might be something that you could do. You learn about the chakras, learn about healing. Yoga's great for it, Reiki, things like that. That would be something that you could focus on. Reiki is that learning how to use the energy around you for healing, to send healing through you to people. And it's not you necessarily doing the healing. You're just helping. You're using your body as a conduit to funnel that energy to where it needs to go, into helping others that in times of need. So that would be something to look for with Earth. I'm still trying to go back to wands, and was, you know, thinking like, wands, I mean, like, what is with this? I'm trying to think of what modality. There's so many. Well, I'm thinking of fire too. And when I think of fire and wands, I also think of scrying. This would be where you look into a fire and you see images. Same thing goes with like looking into a, you know, a mirror or a crystal ball, if you want to go classic fortune teller type. So, and this is where you can get images. So this might be where some of the seeing comes in. I definitely think that that's where the fire is relatable, is that you might be natural at scrying. You know, some people, there is a term, a scientific term for people who stare at patterns on the floors or the walls or the ceilings, and they start to see faces and images and things. I get that all the time. But, you know, has it ever told a story to you, though? I always thought, nope, that's just my imagination, nothing big. But now I wonder, like, am I seeing that, or am I being shown images through that? You know, there is while it's mostly scientific, I think that there is a way that we can possibly be scrying and not even realize it. So, you know, maybe focus on that. I also think with the wands, with the fire, I think of glowing. I think of auras. It takes a bit of practice to see auras. Sometimes you could practice by looking at the energy around your hands if you put them somewhere. Like, I've got a dark space under here under my desk, so I look and I'm starting to see the energy come off my tips, and woo, it's like a deep indigo color, like a bluish purple. I can see that energy now, just like moving my fingers around. Wow, it's kind of like there's a delay in like my fingers. My energetic spirit is following my actual hands. It's weird. I call it my energetic spirit, but but it is like I see the colors and you can kind of see it lift off. But don't look directly at the fingers. Just look at the space between, the dark space above them, and you'll start to see that we all have like a little bit of a glow about us. We are energy. So as energetic beings, and our bodies running on our own form of electricity, if you want to put it that way, that's something to study too. So you can study the chakras, you can study Reiki, you can study auras. A lot of people do aura photography, and it's a popular thing. So you might look into that. But the Empress is full of ideas too. She's loving and nurturing and birthing a lot of new ideas. So there's a lot of creativity in here too. But I see as a balance, you've got plenty to pick from. You can pick any of those modalities you want, or you can do all of them. I wouldn't suggest doing it all at once. I would suggest picking one and learning about it. When you feel like you've learned sufficient amount, then I would go to the next one. So that's my advice. And then we have the last card is the Eight of Wands. And with the Eight of Wands, wow, this is a lot of energy coming in. This is energy. So you can Google energy, and I would look up all kinds of, you know, ways of energy transference, of, you know, giving and receiving, like pulling your energy away from somebody, learning to send energy to people, you know, whatever. Just be very careful about it. I would just educate yourself on it for now, but I would learn how to contain your own energy, like focus on yourself. I think that's a good thing to do, because it's wands, and so, and this is the only thing we have in here, in wands being that movement, that energy, that flow, once again. And there's an important message in the Eight of Wands here that I want you to think about. With growing this, your energy is very important. You can be drained. Now, some people believe in energy vampires or energy pirates. I've heard that term, and I think it's hilarious. But, with energy, you know, your energy can get drained. I mean, if you let someone drain your energy, it's going to happen too. Some people believe in protection, things like that. So it just depends on the individual person. So decide what's best for you. I would focus on yourself, focus on how you best can conserve your energy and how not to let it get drained, because it can. And after you do like readings like tarot, if you start doing tarot or Reiki or things like that, it can drain you. There's actually been a study done, and I remember somebody telling me this. I don't know where it was at. I'm sorry. Feel free to try to look it up. But there was a study done on people who do Reiki. They took a bunch of people who did Reiki, and before they did the Reiki, they did a pre-Reiki blood test to see where their blood levels were, where all of their vitamins, minerals, like everything, anything. They wanted to check to see where their levels were at. So then they let them do Reiki for a certain amount of time. And then after they did Reiki, all those people had to redo their blood levels. And they found the difference is that the people, after they had done Reiki, they were actually low on some of their vitamins and minerals and things. Like they were low on their vitamin B and maybe D. I can't remember which ones it was, but they were low on several of them. And And then it was almost like they had been depleted because of what they had done. It was fine because the before showed everything up to normal, and then the other one showed deficiencies. Like it almost like the energy had been drained from them, and it had depleted some of that. So it's like, that's an interesting thing. I don't know if they've done any other studies like that, but it kind of makes me want to go and look at some of this stuff. So, and I might do that. I need to do that so I can have more facts to spit at you, but I don't know. I don't have anything to back it up right now. I just thought of that. Somebody had told me that a while back, and I was like, that's really interesting, so I need to go look that up. But anyways, yeah, make sure you conserve your energy. There is something here about getting plenty of rest. Because, you know, when you start doing these different types of divination, these modalities of your abilities, or however I'm saying it, when you use your abilities, it can drain you. It can make you very tired because you are using your spiritual energy here. And even though it helps a lot of people, you yourself have to go and rest. It can take quite a bit out of you. So heed the warning. Anyway, so now we're on to tons of oracle. So for your oracle, we have, I took the Starseed oracle. You have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. Where are my star seeds at? So for my star seeds, I just want you to know that, you know, for some of you, and even if you don't know you're a star seed or you're not one, this is just to remind you that you may be in a karmic relationship. And when it says relationship, it could be friend, family. It doesn't have to be romantic, but could be someone at work, you know. Could be your neighbor. I don't know. That neighbor you don't like. There's a reason they live next door to you, or, you know, however it goes. But that just means that in order for your soul to grow, you know, if you want to grow your intuition and work on these things, you might need to wrap up whatever this karmic relationship is. If you find yourself, that will drain you. It causes a lot of conflict. It drains you of your energy. You don't need that. So, you know, get yourself out of it. Break the ties, whatever you have to do to get away from that. Because it's toxic and you don't want that. So break that and make sure whatever it is, if there's a lesson to be learned there, try to learn it quickly and get rid of it. And then once you're done with that, you should be fine to learn. But some of you have like a karmic relationship going on. So look it up, Google it, find out if you got the signs of a karmic relationship, and then figure out who it is it's with. That's the best thing. Also, for advice from your Ascendant Oracle, we have release, and it's a frog. You know, there's certain types of, I don't know if they all do this, but frogs shed their skin. And sometimes, and they turn around and eat it. It's gross, but I read this in the booklet for this, and this is why I don't read that book. Because I don't need to know that. But basically, this is like, you know, if you're holding on to things that you need to, traumas and stuff, you've got to do some work on yourself. You know, not, if you're holding on to baggage that you don't need, that it's going to create kind of a blockage for you, so that it's going to be harder for you to grow, to grow as a intuitive. It's also harder for soul growth if you've got these obstacles in your way. So you've got to remove the obstacles, and you've got to release that baggage somehow and let go of it. I thought I saw the mouse a minute ago. There's a mouse in here. Cute, but he poops too much. We have to release him somewhere if we can catch him. Anyway, I got distracted, sorry. But yes, release that stuff. Time to let it go, as the Frozen song says. But for those of you that are going to be studying these different things, and you're going to be learning about them or taking classes, or, you know, go to your local spiritual community, Facebook or social media like TikTok, or you can find it on Meetup, wherever. But find your local community, and if you look around, you might find some spiritual metaphysical stores like in your area, like where you live. We have several around here, and they sometimes will hold little psychic fairs and things. They'll have readers there, they'll have healers there, including people who do Reiki and things like that, and you can pick their brain, ask them, find out how to do it. They'll have classes where you can go and learn, and you'll be able to pick this stuff up, pick up the knowledge, and learn how to do it and practice it. I myself am a Reiki master, but I'm not currently practicing. That would be something. But I have the books, and I can go back and I can learn everything I need to learn. I mean, the instruction manual is there if I decide to do that. But I've been kind of just deciding to go in a different direction. I've just decided to kind of focus more on doing the intuitive, you know, source-based tarot, and then also mediumship is my next big adventure. So that'll be something I'll be doing at some point, but one thing at a time. I'm trying to get some stuff in order before so I can get back on track. So your Moonology card is expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. This is beautiful. I love it. Yeah. If you start learning this stuff, your intuition will start growing. Spiritually, you're going to be growing. It's going to be a powerful change for you. And you're going to know it, you're going to feel it, and you're going to become very aware of it. And that's okay. So, let's see what else we've got here. Saints and Angels Oracle says vision. Oh yeah, look at that. She's getting a vision, and she's got this beautiful golden light coming in. So, you know, you've been gifted with sight. You know, you've got the clairvoyance. You have the vision in your third eye, or ajna, or whatever you choose to call it. And this is, you know, you're seeing it. You're seeing these images and movies play and things like that, and you get messages and stuff through that. Visual messages, definitely pay attention to that. Your guardian angel is trying to show you, and they can help you open that third eye a little bit gradually. You can ask for help, like, yeah, I want to open it, but open a little bit. Don't overwhelm me, and help me adapt, you know, and then meditate for sure. Your color card, I love this card. Number 26, that reduces to 8. This is going to take a lot of strength on your part, but, you know, to get through this and to learn and grow, because it's a lot of information out there. It says brilliance, discover your sparkle. So I'm getting shine bright like a diamond by Rihanna. So think about that, shine bright like a diamond. And I feel like you are very, what's the word? You're very shimmery. Think about those silly Twilight vampires and how they shimmer like a million diamonds in the sun. Okay, this is psychics. This is the energy that you have. It's very shimmery. You have this beautiful shimmering energy around you. And, you know, we all have a light, and our light looks different to everybody, and it looks different to us, and we don't know how it looks. I mean, I have an idea how it looks with people. They look like they have a light bulb over there. It looks like an IKEA lamp over there. I like to say, but that's what it's like. And just think about that. You have, like, it's shimmering. So discover your sparkle. Your light's gonna grow brighter, and you're gonna grow more shimmery and bright, and you're gonna be that beacon to people that are like, oh, I can approach this person. This person can help me psychically. I mean, if you're a medium, this is gonna get ghosts to appreciate you too. Okay, and now we have the last few cards. I pulled from the mediumship training deck. I love the advice in here, and I think it could go for just about anything. So we have ethical awareness. This card came out. I pulled 2 cards because I pulled one, and then I was like, nope. They were like, pull another one, and I'm like, okay. So my guides had me pull a secondary one. So ethical awareness, service to spirit, and strong ethical awareness are at the heart of mediumship. Whenever you're offering evidential messages, they should always be delivered in a loving, kind, and healing manner. Remain conscious of what you're sharing. It should be relevant, authentic, and meaningful to your sitter rather than harmful, destructive, or hurtful. Likewise, a message should never be forced on the living or randomly given without permission from the recipient. It's important to respect the living and their desire to receive from spirit. As mediums, we don't get it says as mediums, this is anything. You could give a kind of message through tarot or channeling, etc. But we don't get to choose the spirits we communicate with. In being of service to spirit, it's important for us to remain unbiased and simply be the channel for healing communication. Remember that spirit communication is a 3-way process between the medium, the sitter, and a spirit. Well, you know, the psychic. The sitter is somebody that if they want a reading from you, or they want channel messages from you, or someone you're talking to, a friend, and you decide to, this is just your querent or someone who asked a question and you're answering through spirit. Um, Maintain a high level of ethical awareness ensures mutual respect among the medium, the spirit, and the recipient. And I keep saying that, but those are just the words I put. A great way to practice ethical awareness is to become mindful of your own behavior and how it impacts those around you. So don't be overly judgmental. So take a moment to breathe in the energy. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep yourself in a calm, zen place. And this will help. You don't want to be biased. And I know, when I've been around enough people in a group, I've had problems with people who, oh yeah, they want to give me a reading. So I get a reading from everybody. But the people who know me the best, they know a lot about my personal life. And they became very judgmental. And they started to kind of telling me how it's going to be. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like, you're telling me what I should be doing, what I need to be doing. It felt like a lecture. I felt like I was getting lectured on what to do with my life rather than intuitive. There was nothing intuitive about it. This person wasn't coming from a place of spirit. They were just judging me and telling me what to do. And their readings were not helpful after a while because that's all it was judgment. So please keep that in mind. If someone really needs to know something, Spirit's going to tell you. Like, you need to know. They need to know this. I must tell you. And if that's the case, wherever you are, if you're one-on-one, then it can be very personal, and you can be like, hey, I have this message that's coming through. Do you want to hear it? You may not like what I have to say, but so on. And that gives them the right to say that. But the Spirit really wants you to know. And sometimes there's things you don't want to tell them. So, that's the way it goes. But this is ethical awareness. So this is about keeping things fair and balanced. Make sure it's always a message from Spirit through you. You're channeling the message that people need to hear. You're not telling them what they want to hear. You're telling them what they need to hear. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be happy-go-lucky. But you're going to tell them, like, oh, well, just, oh, your relationship's over. You don't have to tell them that. There's something called the 4Ds, We don't talk about death and divorce, disease and debt. And those are the umbrella terms for anything underneath that. Some people have. If some people are prepared for it and they want the truth, do that. But I do know that there's psychic fair stuff out there where those readers working under the person who owns that fair, they're not allowed to tell you those. They're like supposed to keep it happy, happy, happy. So you get a great reading and you leave going, yes, I'm going to get everything I want. And I'm thinking, hey, how many readings did I have at that place? And I'm like, the things didn't turn out quite like that. And that makes the reader look bad. It's like, well, they were forced to say that because if not, they wouldn't be allowed to read at that place. So I think that there's a time and a place for it, but just make sure that it's got to be kind, coming from a kind, loving, generous place. So keep that in mind as you start learning and growing and trying your abilities out on people. Ooh, water. Okay. So the secondary card I have is replenish your energy. This is important. I think I said something about this earlier, so listen up. Your work is about offering love, support, healing, and blessings from Spirit. It's an extraordinary relationship. But when Spirit sends you a sign to rest and rejuvenate, then it's time to take notice. Open your heart and receive Spirit's love. It's often said you cannot give from an empty well. While a life of service to Spirit is a beautiful calling, it can often leave you feeling tired and drained if you don't take proper care of your body, as well as your mind and spirit. By taking time out to fill your cup with love, energy, and vitality, you can maintain a healthier relationship with Spirit and improve the quality of your abilities. The fact that you've chosen this card indicates that your body is telling you to rest. This is something I've been told for a while now. This is why I have to rest and rejuvenate after I do these readings, because it drains me. But the same goes for all of you listening, too. It needs time to rejuvenate and recharge your spiritual battery. You could spend the day reading a good book, being outdoors in nature, or just socializing with friends and family. Hey, you can also sit back and binge watch Netflix if you want to. It's been great for me, and I've loved it. I just finished 6 Feet Under. Fantastic. Try to adopt a regular practice of yoga or meditation, body care, or a healing session, and always remember to get a good night's sleep. Make time to listen within and ask your soul what it needs. All these self-care routines will benefit your overall well-being. Intuitively, you will know when you're ready to return to work with this renewed energy, clarity of mind, and sense of purpose. So that is replenish your energy. So keep that up. That's an important message for everybody and myself included. And on a high note, we're going to leave on the inner effing peace deck. Let your freak flag fly. Om shakalaka. I can't say it. It's still hitting. That's just your reminder, friendly reminder to come from a kind, generous, loving place. Come from the heart space. You know, make sure you meditate. Stay in that Zen space. Sit in stillness and listen if you can. There are plenty of ways to meditate. You can walk, listen to music, and that's meditation. Dance is meditation. Art is meditation. There's a lot of different ways. Whatever helps you to focus in and just get messages naturally. And as long as it's not too grueling for you, walking will drain you too. But if you need to rest, sometimes just laying down, you can get messages that way too. So I hope this was helpful to all of you. Thank you for listening. Until next time, bye guys.